The NBA Finals tip off tonight between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. And in honor of that, we are bringing you a new installment of our series, Note to Self, featuring a familiar voice to millions of basketball fans. Inside the NBA, host Ernie Johnson has been covering the league for more than 3 decades. Behind the scenes, he's a father of 6 and has faced a series of health issues over the years himself. In this note to his younger self, Johnson reflects on his challenges, including the heartbreak of losing his adopted son.
Dear freshman, you're living the dream right now, aren't you? There you stand in 1975 wearing the uniform of the Georgia Bulldogs. It's what the Johnson family calls a BlackBerry moment. Goes back to that Little League team you were on when 2 of your teammates stopped looking for a ball that had bounced over the fence and ate blackberries instead. Sweet moments to savor. Those are BlackBerry moments. And you're living one right now, playing college ball and wearing number 32, the same one your dad wore when he played in the big leagues. You're wondering if you have the same talents that took him to the majors. Sorry, kid. You don't. You'll be cut the next year. And then, like most college kids, you'll be trying to figure out what on earth you're going to do with your life. You're really not thinking much about a career in broadcasting, though you've been around it most of your life, and your dad was really good at it.
Here's a pitch. Swung on, here she goes!
That's the career you'll pursue. From radio stations in Athens,
everybody knows it's tough to keep cool during this heat wave, and
to reporting the news on TV in Macon, Georgia, and Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Atlanta.
What does my father think? Ask him right here. What do you think?
Where you'll transition from news into sports.
Let's go to Ernie Johnson at the Palace. Ernie?
Thank you very much, Craig Seeger.
The call from Turner Broadcasting will change your life.
The Bulls are halfway through their regular season schedule now.
You'll have the chance to cover every sport you can think of. It'll be something you refer to as a get-to job, not a got-to job. And along the way, you'll work with your dad. Nothing will ever match that.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio.
Not even the decades of work hosting Inside the NBA for more than 30 years. You don't know these names yet, but Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith won't just be your partners on that show, they will be your brothers for life. You grew up with parents who instilled in you the values of hard work, determination, resolve, love, respect, and faith. Those will carry you through that career I just outlined. But keep this in mind. Your job is what you do, it's not who you are. Covering the news beat, you'll meet a bank teller named Cheryl DeLuca. She's working her way through college at Mercer in Macon, and every week she cashes your paychecks, which aren't much. Cheryl will tell folks for years that you guys met through 6 inches of bulletproof glass. You will see through that window into a soul older than yours and an intellect that dwarfs yours. But for some reason, 3 years after you meet, she'll say yes to the idea of marrying you. And you'll wonder if her response was rooted in pity or if it was love. I'll choose love. Always choose love. It never fails. Before too long, you two will become parents. A little boy you'll name Eric and a daughter, Maggie. As a man, you'll feel, complete. But let me throw you a little curveball, which I know you were never very good at hitting. Don't be afraid to go unscripted. You'll learn that from Cheryl. You're a sportscaster. She's a world changer.
A baptism of orphans in Bucharest. A hospital nursery filled with unwanted Romanian babies.
A news story about abandoned Romanian orphans prompts her to suggest something unscripted, adopting one of those kids. In the summer of 1991, you will stay home with Eric and Maggie while your wife travels to Romania. A little boy nearly 3 years old is brought out to her. His name is Aurel Mihai. He can't walk, he can't talk, he's malnourished. Cheryl is told by the woman who handed him to her, "Don't take this boy, he's no good." Your wife will call you from Bucharest and describe the child and offer this. He's so much more than we can handle, but I can't imagine living the rest of my life wondering whatever happened to that blonde-haired boy in the orphanage. And in that moment, because you know that in the tone of her voice you are getting a glorious look into the depth of her soul, you will say 4 words. Well, bring him home. 2 years later, you'll travel to Paraguay, where a perfectly healthy little girl is waiting. Carmen will become the most recent addition to the Johnson family, but not the last. Years later, you will meet Allison and Ashley, half-sisters, who had never really known a permanent home, and you'll give them one. It would be nice to end this letter right here with, "And they lived happily ever after." Our stories can all have fairy tale chapters, but there are just as many which deal with real-life challenges and heartbreak and disappointments far greater than being cut by the college baseball team. On 2 occasions, 16 years apart, you'll sit in a doctor's office and be told you have cancer. The words will shake you to your core, but don't panic. You'll take to heart what one of the technicians told you as you were having your body scanned. You may have cancer, but it doesn't have you. 3 words will become your personal mantra. Trust God. Period. Medicine and surgery will fix you, but it's your faith, your family, and your friends who will sustain you. You'll lose your dad, a guy who taught you everything you needed to know about being a man, a husband, a father. The guy whose basic career advice was to be yourself and to always take the high road. He'll be the best man at your wedding. You'll give him a pewter beer mug engraved, "My best man, my best friend." Years later, your son Eric will ask you to be his best man, and he'll gift you in the same way. The power of that father-son bond, it'll bring you to your knees. Oh, and that little boy you adopt from Romania, Michael. You'll find out a year after you bring him home that he has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. There's no cure for that. His muscles won't develop, they'll just continue to weaken. He won't speak until he's 8 years old. His favorite thing to say will be, "Love you too."
Love you too.
And it will become your family's calling card. You'll be amazed at how his spirit just draws people to him. He will defy the odds by living 33 blackberry-filled years. And while you and your family will shed a torrent of tears at his passing, you will all unabashedly dance to one of his favorite songs, Family. As you celebrate his life. And that's where I'll wrap it up, freshmen. Family. The one you were born into set the bar incredibly high. Be intentional about trying to meet that standard. It'll give your life purpose and value and a glimpse of the divine. Oh, and by the way, that number 32, just wait till you see your grandchildren wearing it at the Little League fields. Talk about your Blackberry moments. Love you too, Ernie.
Oh, man.
Ernie Johnson, where are the tissues? May we all have a life full of Blackberry moments. I love it's so beautifully told, his life story. You never know what's going on in people's lives.
Right.
I had no idea Ernie Johnson still has that amazing voice that he had from the time that he was a little kid.
He's right into his
so many layers to that.
So many layers. You're right into your college freshman self. You know, I remember being a college freshman, you're so nervous about how your life's going to turn out, the highs and the lows. The richness of that life includes everything.
Yeah. I've heard for so long that Ernie is an individual that lives for other people.
Yeah, you see that.
And I have an example of that. I hope he doesn't mind me reading this. Out of nowhere, I get a text a handful of months ago. Just wanted to reach out and tell you you're killing it on the morning show. Goes without saying that you've excelled on the NFL show. But my wife and I both love the work that you're doing Monday through Friday. I know that was a big transition, and you've made it look effortless, EJ, with the emoji.
Yeah.
And I almost cried because I'm such a huge fan. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do a lot of things.
Ernie
That's
Johnson.
what makes him special.
He says, always choose love. Ernie Johnson sending you big love. And Ben Rosenthal, who produced that. Ben Rosenthal, by the way, is one of the producers. It's his first note to self. You go, Ben. Craig Shea, one of the best editors, worked with him many times. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Very well done.
Thank you very much.